Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. the Honorable Lovell Francis, MP for Moruga Tableland and Minister in the Ministry of Education, the Honorable Franklin Khan, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, the Honorable Kazim Hossain, Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ms. Simon Thorne-Mora, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Newman George, Chairman of HDC and other board members here present, Mr. Brent Lyons, Managing Director of HDC and Divisional Heads of HDC, councillors and aldermen here present from the Princeton Regional Corporation, representatives of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, members of the protective services here present, beneficiaries of the housing program here this afternoon, other invited guests, members of the media. Indeed, a very pleasant good afternoon to you all. I think this song we just heard a while ago sums it up quite succinctly. I think you can all see, those beneficiaries today can all say one word. I can hear you. You can one say one word. Today is? Yeah. That's right, because you're about to receive one of your dreams, one of almost everyone's dreams. Good afternoon again, and I will say welcome to today's housing distribution at Gomez Trace here in beautiful St. Mary's Village, Moruga. Since assuming duties in August 2018, I've had the pleasure to preside over several distributions, and I must say, give my compliments to the AGC and the board members. We have done some work in Carina Gardens, formerly River Run Through, Napoyo Court in Malabar, Lakeview in Point Fortin, Reed Road in Labray, Terrestrial in Diabede, and recently View Fort in St. James. Ladies and gentlemen, the vision of this government is to develop housing communities that foster wholesome living, and this development in Gomez Trace is certainly no different. As part of the government's thrust to improve the circumstances of rural communities, Gomez Trace will serve to complement the other development activities taking place in your area. The activities such as the agro-processing plant and the light industrial park, part again of the government trust to develop Moruga and its environment. This development, and I'm proud to say, was started under the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley administration, with a third turning ceremony in May 2017. As such, we are very pleased with the relatively short period of time that we can be here this afternoon to distribute these units. I want to also thank the contractors. When you look around, and you'll get a chance to see the inside, but when you look around, you can see that no doubt they have done an excellent job. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. And I've just prompted by your MP here, it's a boast that in fact 3 local contractors were involved in this project. So they're your own, and they have done an excellent job. This Gomez Trace housing development comprises 71 units, 71 single-family units that have been built with an open living concept using a mixed 2-bedroom and 1-bathroom and 3 bedrooms, 2-bathroom single-family housing. Ladies and gentlemen, this distribution ceremony highlights our commitment to deliver on our mandate to provide affordable housing accommodation to eligible citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Many people may not fully appreciate the fact that what makes the public housing program so affordable is a number of subsidies given to facilitate delivery of this. And yes, we have not transmitted the true cost to our recipients. The government has subsidized these programs, these houses and so on. So it is not the true cost you're paying. The government has invested in you to ensure that you can afford what we're about to present to you today. Because if we really think about the real costs associated with home and construction and ownership, such as, for example, the cost of the developed lands, construction supplies, labor and mortgage facilities, we'll realize how difficult home ownership could be. But this government insists that we will provide affordable homes, and therefore we will continue to subsidize the houses so that you can afford affordable home housing. The present government understands this more than most. In fact, this is why the PNM administration developed the National Housing Policy and implemented the subsidized housing program so that today we are able to continue facilitating the provisions of housing accommodation for those who are most in need of our intervention. With all our affordable housing solutions, it is therefore no surprise that so many families continue to turn to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and the Housing Development Corporation to make their dreams of home ownership come true. Ladies and gentlemen, contrary to the repeated rhetoric from the opposition, on assuming office in 2015, this government made a strategic decision to complete all stalled or incomplete projects, and there were several around the country. We did not do like the last administration and say that was started under another administration and left it alone. We decided we will complete all those stalled and incompleted projects, ladies and gentlemen. And today, the thousands who have benefited from the ministry's housing distributions are happy that we have made that decision and did not leave those developments to go to rot. To date, the Housing Development Corporation has completed 7 projects, which were left incomplete by the last administration. In addition to these, the agency was able to also restart those projects which were stalled post-2010. In just over 3 years, this administration will be able to allocate over 2,700 housing units, ladies and gentlemen. 2,700 units. And this is a combination from new development, stalled or incomplete projects, as well as those that were vandalized and had to be refurbished. Altogether, the agency has 20 active projects across 15 locations and is projected a total yield of over 3,000 housing units, which will be added to the national housing stock. Indeed, a compliment to the agency, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give them a wonderful applause. You see, this government is intent on completing all of these constructions with units term of office, fully cognizant of the demand for housing by low and middle income families. Not only complete them, but this government is committed to distribute every single housing at this term of office, ladies and gentlemen. None will be left vacant. Owning a home is truly an important milestone and accomplishment. I therefore wish to sincerely congratulate all of you who will be receiving your housing packages today. I also like to impress upon you the importance of not squandering the opportunity, but allowing it to work for you and your families. Please bear in mind, however, that the Housing Development Corporation, and by extension, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, relies on you, the beneficiaries of the state's housing program, to honor and maintain your financial obligations, since your payments form part of our regeneration and, of course, for new developments. And I say that in terms of emphasizing that it's important that while we present to you today your packages, while we present to you what is considered one of the basic needs of man, shelter, there's also an obligation on your part to ensure that you pay your mortgages on time. As a matter of fact, I suggest to you that in terms of your income and expenditure, one of the first expenditure should be your mortgage. Then you could pay for the car, pay for the carnival costume, etc., etc. Please honor your commitment, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, today is certainly a day that the Lord has made. It has made for all of us, and more particularly you, the recipients today. So as I close, I wish to give you the assurance that the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, through the agency, is collaborating with the Ministry of Works and Transport and all other relevant agencies to find solutions to mitigate the circumstances that contributed to the floods which affected residents in agency development at Lohoketa, Greenvale, and Orupun. Attempts are being also made to have all repairs to affected units completed by the end of this month. I also wish to acknowledge and thank those residents for their patience during this difficult time. Ladies and gentlemen, there are countless persons involved in the provision of the state's affordable housing solutions and associated community facilities. I therefore wish to take this opportunity to publicly thank the chairman and the board of HDC, the managing director, hardworking men and women. I'd also like to thank the officials from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, the permanent secretary and her staff, for steadfastly and remaining focused on providing low and affordable housing for our citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. You recipients today, as you receive your homes, you have an opportunity to develop your own communities, to put your hallmark, to put your name on this Gomez Trace development. However you treat it is how it's going to become. You must make it second to none. You must make it a place of pride, a place of joy, one in which people will be envious and want to come to join you in Gomez Trace this afternoon. So may God completely bless us all and indeed bless our nation. I thank you.